He's done. Well, awesome. Hey, I just want to say thank you again to everybody for coming out. I do want to take this moment because, I mean, this has been an amazing experience. And what I love about it is that it reminds me so much of last November. When we were fighting for $30 tabs, I felt like I had gone kind of full circle. What really got me into the entire initiative process is this idea that everyone pay a flat rate $30 to license their vehicle. And I remembered that entire experience having it with Riley, where we went out and for 8 months we went to fairs and we went to all these various events together. And she started out kind of sitting in the back working on her phone. And then slowly she would kind of work her way up, and then she would hold the petition sheet while her dad kind of acted like an idiot and like yelled at people and screamed at people. Do you kind of remember that? Yes, that's what she did. And so she would just hold it and collecting these signatures. And I remembered it was an amazing time for us because Bob Ferguson was suing me and my family during that period of time. And I remember it was incredible what we ended up doing. Karen and I, we sold off our retirement fund, and we just kind of put all our chips on the table to give this thing one more chance. And so for 8 months, she and I were like traveling the state, going to all these fairs, but thousands of people were helping us. And all of them were absolutely working their tails off during that period of time. And I remembered with Ferguson coming down like really hard and really, really intensely. It was in, I think it was like late November or so, that I had to announce that I ended up having to seek bankruptcy protection because the costs were so astronomical that while we were doing this fight, it was costing us so much in legal fees that I just was doing everything I could to try and protect my family. And then 2 months later, we turn in the signatures. And he must have thought to himself, he won't die. He won't stop. He just keeps going. And I remember in January, Riley and I went down to Olympia. And we went to the Red Lion Inn, and we practiced for the next morning turning in the signatures. And we had certain duties that she was in charge of. And one of those duties was to, why did you tell me about it?
Write the number of signatures that we got on a whiteboard.
And what is it that the media likes, Riley?
Motion and visuals.
Motion and visuals. So we're practicing that evening in the room, and she's writing it. I go, that's not good enough. You need to do it with flourish. Flourish, you remember that one. So the next day, we're wearing these obnoxious orange t-shirts. Bright
orange.
Really bright orange t-shirts that Carol had bedazzled the night before. So they had all the sparkles on it. It was just amazing. So we turned in the signatures. And all that does is it gives you a chance to fight. That's all it is. When you qualify an initiative, you have the joy and pleasure of getting the stuffing kicked out of you for about 11 months. And so I remember that it was an amazing time for her and I told everybody, get ready, because it's going to be really intense, because they have no argument against the idea. They have to attack me. And so it's going to be Tim Eyman's a bad guy. You've got to highlight the fact that, he just recently declared bankruptcy. He's a really bad guy. Nobody likes that guy. And I remember 22 years of training had taught me that the voters don't care about any of that stuff. But I knew that it was my job to get out there and be that tip of the spear, to get out there and take all the hits every step of the way. And I'm warning everybody, the bad stuff is coming. And little did I know that a month later, I decide to walk into an Office Depot.
The chair.
and yes, the chair. So in February, I decide to go into an Office Depot to buy some printers, and I see a chair. And so I take it out to the car, wheel it out there, walk back into the store. That's the part of the video you never saw. So I come back in to pay for it, and then she and I are landing in Florida 2 days later. And I'm getting text messages saying,
happened with the chair?
what was it?
What's with the chair?
What's with the chair? I have no idea what these people are talking about. So that was just kind of the beginning. And so they end up spending $5 million saying vote no on Tim Eyman's $30 tabs initiative. And I remembered $500,000 from Microsoft, $500,000 from Amazon. And I remember thinking to myself, these guys are helping. Because the more money that they spend against this measure, the more people are going to know who it is that's actually running things in the state of Washington as long as the Democrats are in control. And I remember thinking, this is good, getting the crap kicked out of you. This is fantastic. I'm going to do everything I can to go to every forum possible to let them beat up on me, because I believe the average voter identifies with the person that's out there standing up for them when they're at work. And there you go. So it is, this is my time. Just get used to it. Sit down, get comfortable. But it's election night. And election night like no other. Because I had been with this young lady for so long, and I knew that she had to be with me that night. And so Karen was disinclined to have her come. And so I decided to let Riley do the persuading. I'm curious, Riley, how were you able to convince Karen to have you be able to go? She has no comment at this time. Yes?
I was wondering if you could just take a break to do the Latin dancing horse, like ask people to clear this little area, the horse.
We will absolutely do that later.
Oh,
we will
later.
do that
Okay.
later, absolutely.
Because they have to go, so.
Oh, okay, very good.
Okay.
And so what we ended up doing was that night we're all together, and she's with me, and I take her aside before the polls had closed, and I ended up saying to her, Riley, this may be the last campaign I'm ever able to do, and the universe would not be the way it was supposed to be if you weren't with me at this time. And without hesitation, you said what?
I'll carry it on.
So I reminded her she was 12, and I said, you have to go to, Wazoo, become a veterinarian and everything. And you said,
I'll do it after.
I'll do it after. So it's one of those perfect moments for me. For the rest of my life, I will have last November. For the rest of my life, I will have tonight. I am surrounded by people I love, people that I absolutely adore. I have family, I have friends, I have thousands of people that I met throughout this campaign that really moved me and really got me excited about the idea of what it's like to actually run for office. And it is something that I genuinely enjoyed. I loved every minute of it. There was never a moment where I didn't love it. I heard it said, and I want to remind all of you of something very important. Find what you love to do, and you will never work a day in your life. And I honestly feel that every day that I have with her, with my family, with all of you is a gift. I am so grateful to all of you for sticking with me throughout this. Whatever the numbers show, I will be in this fight forever, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure to save this state from 4 more years of Jay Inslee. So I love you all.